Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of DCUO SourceCast. As I just realized that the title for the Twitch stream is incorrect. There, now it's updated. Alright, thank you so much, guys, for coming back to the DCUO SourceCast. I'm, of course, Trex, and alongside me, as always, is my rage partner in crime, Super Patriot.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
That's right, rage. Rage is all the craze!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Mute. Bad Twitch.
Yeah.
Bad laptop. So, a little bit of good news, and knock on wood, the stream should be fine. If you get a little buffering, it's going to buffer. But I've messed around with my settings, so I should be a stable stream. I'm crossing my fingers it's going to be stable. I'm knocking on wood. I'm breaking down doors. I don't know. But thank you all so much for coming back. We have a nice episode. We're going to be talking about DLC9. Came out for Legendary members as early access. Should be coming out for the free-to-play and the premium players on Tuesday. That's your release. And we've both been playing around with Rage Powers a little bit. I think Super Patriot has more play with it than I do, because I had my time limited where I was able to play a couple of stuff, not really do anything heavy. Also found a couple of stuff on the forums that we're going to talk about. And of course, our usual FNL recap. But first up, Super Patriot, how's your week been?
Oh, ups and downs, lefts and rights. I never thought that a power called Rage would make me want to cry, though, when it comes to the tanking.
Yes, there is. Even on test, we were loving it. We were having great fun with it. But now that it's live, now we're going to see what problems are actually going to occur. Because we can do all the amount of testing on the test server as much as possible. But all in all, when stuff hits live server, it's a completely different ballpark. So I feel that what we did was we tested as much as possible. We gave a lot of feedback back. All the testers did an amazing job, so pat your guys' self on the back there. But now that it's on live, we're going to start seeing a little bit more of issues. I think there's already issues with the Ragebringer. Ragebringer not actually taunting like it's supposed to. So we're seeing some of that, but all we can really do is report it and let the guys fix it in hot fixes or patches, whatever. But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I also want to make this episode. It was hard for me this week. I had to say goodbye to Black Ember. Black Ember was my fire tank. He means the world to me still. I still have his name saved, so don't try stealing it. Haha. That's what I do. It's what I do. But I had to say, I welcomed the new, someone I can probably recognize more with the community now, because it actually has my name. And so I've now become Trex Rage.
I still think that you stacked that poll.
I didn't mess with the pool. I didn't. I promise you. I promise you. I myself voted for blood red Trexipad. I honestly voted for it, but it didn't win the votes. It was up for like 2 weeks. It was up for 2 weeks, but people wanted the Trex Rage, and people got the Trex Rage. Now
Then I was in a group with Nimbus Yosh the other night, and when the night it launched for Legendary, and he referred to it as menstrual tanking. So,
yeah, that's gonna happen. But if it also makes you feel better, I still have Blood Red Trexipad saved, so you never know. I might make it a villain, just level it, just here and there, not really. I won't really put too much effort to it. But as long as my name doesn't get reported, it's like, I'll be fine with it. It worked
Yeah.
on. I mean, as long as it doesn't get reported. So please don't report me. I'm here for fun. But I also found out that Bleez's wings are an investigation. You can get Bleez's wings as a style.
Yes.
Yes. So that made me even. That makes
you guys if you guys check out the Balkan Let's Play channel, by Balkan from the other podcast I do, he's already found some of the investigations and briefings and completed them. So he's got a couple videos about that. So check that out. I've completed out a couple of the collections, and I think one of the investigations. I actually have the I forget his name, the guy with the elephant head in Mogo.
Brother Roth.
Yes, I have his chest style. I got, and I have Atrocitus's helmet style from one of the other things too.
Okay, yeah, I saw Michael Grid tonight on FNL that we're about to get into. I saw him, and he was standing there with the new chest piece. I'm like, I know that style looks familiar. I just can't put my finger on it. But yeah, now you say Brother Worth. I'm like, oh, yeah, it was Brother Worth's chest. Okay, it's neat. So, all right, so speaking of FNL, let's go straight into our Friday Night Legends roundup. Boom. So, as you all know, I did participate in the FNL tournament. Tonight. I certainly did. I was taken out in the first round. It was my Lex Luthor versus Wonder Woman. And I do have it recorded, and I will have it uploaded tonight for release tomorrow. It'll be released tomorrow when FNL gets released. I'll release my video, and I'll post a link in there so everyone can actually watch the FNL the rest of the show. But I was taken out in the first match. Even in the video I was doing while I was even watching the match, first off, I never said my opponent was cheating. I never said that she was like it. I blamed a little bit on my lag because to me it felt like I was lagging, but I mean I was going up against Wonder Woman and I was like, why am I losing so badly? But I'm feeling like I'm not hurting her as much. And when I got knocked down, I realized it was because of those damn bracers. She activated the bracers, and I was taking damage back. So it's like I'm in a win-loss situation here.
Yep.
So I bow to you. If I had the side open, I remember God Nima. God Nima was the name. So I bow to you, God Nima. Excellent win. Good fight. I can honestly say I did not prepare for this match one bit like I wanted to. I was reminded Monday about it. Then I was reminded today at work by Chris. And I was like, crap. So I got home, had my dinner, and then I went straight into doing a match before we had to round up and get ready for the tournament. And I log in, I hop in my first match, and guess who it is? It's freaking Tharkus on Robin.
Yeah?
I went against, and this is what kills me. I queued up for Batcave 1v1. I go in there. It's already in the middle of the match. Like, the person left. So I come in with Tharkus at 1,000, and I'm dropped down to like maybe 800 by the time I get up. By the time I get up there, I still lose. But I dropped him down to like that 300, 400 range. So, I mean, it's like I did pretty well against them, but it's like, I came into a middle of a match. Why the frick did I go into a middle of a match? I was really, really pissed about that. But, anyways, this is my first time really playing in Shadowlands. I can say that now. It's my first time playing in Shadowlands, and I just don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, not many people do like that map. I had many requests and complaints from people about that map. All I can say is that I feel you on that because I don't like the map that much either. At the same time, though, I'm not putting the money up or the prizes up for it. So
true, correct. Correct. So at the same time, it was my first time going in. I knew the strategy around it, but I also felt that by the time when I got my first knockdown, and I came back and I finally put her down, it kind of feels like once you if you're on there the first time, it's pretty much yours. Even if you have the NPCs coming in because they're on your side, if you have them come in, it feels kind of one-sided. At least that's how I felt. I just didn't. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy myself. Of course, even when I lose, I still try and find some kind of way to enjoy myself. But
the main issue with that map is, I mean, it's highly, it caters towards players who play their main roles more than they DPS. So that's why you run into a lot of, say, like fire tanks, ice tanks and all that, with like wearing the tank gear and all the the dominance and resto mods and stuff like that. I mean, they're built for survival. I mean, they're basically spec'd for PvE. When they go into these matches, and they may have a healer debuff with them. I've actually seen, this is the thing that cracks me up, because I've seen tanks spec like that, but with a tank debuff on them. That map's just, I don't know. I mean, if it was a 2-player map, I could almost see it being better as a 2v2 map. But it being a 1v1 map, it's like whoever can survive the longest first, or who can get the biggest burst out first, and then then all they have to do is cap the node. And in some ways, especially if you're like a DPS or a controller, capping the node isn't beneficial towards you, because then you got these ads that come out and they're attacking you and they're bouncing you and juggling you all over the place, and it's just a really, really frustrating map. That, I mean, I honestly don't like it. I've made my opinions known about it, in regards to future Legends appearances with it. But how that actually works out in the future, we'll see. I do know, I can say that the next one will not be on the Shadowlands. And I believe we're talking about going back to 2v2s. So, and it won't be one of the Batcave maps.
Okay. I mean, it was something that I just needed to something to learn about. I mean, at the same time, this was technically my first FNL. No, it's like my second FNL. So, and I truly meant to practice this week, but I had a special video I was doing. I got caught up with other stuff. Jimmy and her husband kept distracting me. So, it's just a whole bunch of stuff just came into itself. But all in all, FNL was, again, a really solid night. We didn't see, at least I didn't see too many steals. I saw Wonder Woman's out the Yin Yang. I saw Lex Clutchmeister and Dr. Whizzer doing some Lex Luthor matches in there. I was really like, woo, got that right there.
Yeah,
it's my buddy Lex.
See, honestly, I mean, you guys can do a lot more stuff on the PC than we can on the consoles.
That's correct.
Is in regards to clipping and everything like that, because it's so much more fluid and fast for you guys, because it's basically button, where with us it's hold this, hold that, it's we have to hold a couple of things at the same time in order to clip, or we have to perform a couple of actions at the same time in order to clip, the way you guys do on the PC. I'm honestly surprised that there haven't been a lot more PS4 players taking part in these things, trying to use a keyboard and mouse. Soon because of that, because you can't use a keyboard and mouse on a PS4 for this game. So, I don't know, maybe we'll see that in the future, I don't know. But yeah, you guys can do all sorts of different clips and cancels and everything like that we can't get away with. I mean, that's honestly, that's why I don't trust any, like, if there's a DPS loadout for PvE, I honestly don't trust it if it's on the PC. I can't trust it, because you guys, are clipping and doing so much more. You can get away with so much more than we can on the console in that regards. To where I'll be like, okay, there's that loadout, and all right, I'll test that out, but there's no way in hell I'm putting out that much damage with it, because it's just not happening.
Yeah. So, but once again, Clutchmeister proves his superiority when it comes to the PC side of PvP. He had a really, really strong match tonight. Let me actually go to the site because I cannot remember off the top of my head. I go to my tournament because I'm trying to remember who he actually faced in the finals. It was it was that weird name. It's like Isolabi, or I'm just gonna call him Obi. He went up against Obi, and Obi put up a fight. Was not going to give in to anything. It was a lot of back and forth. It really was, and all the competitors tonight, really, just a round of applause to all of you guys. You did a fantastic job. Wish I would have gotten further, but I will try and train as much as possible when time allows me, and I'm not distracted by people I will not name because they just called me out on Skype, and. And I will prepare myself for February for that tournament. So, cannot wait. Alright, so Friday Night Legends coming back next week with a PvE challenge, going back into the Prime Battleground to figure out who can go all up there. Yeah, that. So, cannot wait to see what league is going to be coming up onto the plate. It's not going to be me. Maybe one day. But I know you guys are going to miss me. But be sure to tune in next week, next Friday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, alright. Time to move on to some forum news. Some forum news that I found today. Actually, there's just one. The other two actually tied into what we're going to talk about later. But, did you find any forum news that you want to talk about today?
Honestly, I think the forum news we should talk about is something that it's publicly announced, so we don't have to worry about NDA involved with it and all that. Is news about the some of the games that are sunsetting for SOE?
Yep. I definitely was going to put that in there after our actual normal news, but yes. Let's talk about that first.
Well, it's somewhat SOE related.
Oh no, it has to be talked about. It has to be.
Yeah.
And it's not it's something bad. It's just we have to talk about it so you guys are informed about it. But I'm definitely reading it. So it's going to be on or about April 2nd. We've all heard earlier this month about the new changes to the All Access program from SOE. And so what this means is on or about April 2nd, they're going to roll out a simple and new All Access membership plan full of value. In this plan, this is again for the monthly rate of $14.99 a month. All right, $15 a month. Okay, so this the new plan, the members will receive 500 station cash on a monthly every month. That can be used from all the game marketplaces. You will receive a 10% discount on marketplace purchases. So that's pretty cool, I think. And then you will gain access to exclusive promotions and offers throughout the year. Now, and they've also gone a step further. They will be upgrading all existing individual game memberships to all access plans, which will include the top tier memberships level in all eligible SOE games, meaning EverQuest 2, DC Universal Online for PC, PlanetSide 2 for PC, Vanguard, and the upcoming EverQuest Next and EverQuest Next Landmark. We don't need to worry about all those, we just need to worry about this DC stuff, And they're also finalizing other stuff for Dragon's Prophet and a couple of other games as well. So, that's pretty much it. It's so what they're doing with this All Access, you will have for $14.99. It used to be $20. It's going to be reduced down to $15, and it will replace all existing SOE game memberships on or about on April 2nd. So, as legendary players and even as the lifetime legendary players for DC Universal Online, we'll still be legendary for DC, but we're going to be included in this all access. So that means that you're going to have access to all the other SOE games. That's pretty sweet. And here's a perfect example that they use EverQuest 2 in this example. As an example, if you're a gold member in EverQuest 2, that's pretty much legendary, you'll be upgraded to the All Access for full membership entitlements in all eligible SOE games. You don't need to lift a finger; it will automatically be done. You'll be able to log in and claim a monthly grant of 500 station cash, 1 grant per account. Also remember that you have to log in to the game in order to receive your 500 station cash. You just don't automatically get it. You have to log in every month to get it. And you will receive a 10% discount on all marketplace items. Some exclusions will apply, including station cash top-ups, Chrono member and membership purchases. Members will also be eligible to exclusive promotions and offers throughout the year. So, before we talk about the sunsetting, because it does hit a little bit home, at least for me, let me scroll down to... Here we are. This is all from the FAQ that is located on the post as well. Will I be able to keep all of the existing gold, legendary, premium benefits of my game? Top tier memberships participating games will be upgraded to the All Access. And the same game benefits you enjoy now, plus all the other stuff you get from SOE games. So DC, PlanetSide, and all the EverQuests, all of our memberships stay the same, but once again, we have access to now all the other games. And
real quick.
Go ahead.
Brittany in the chat's asking if it's just for PC. Right now, it's just for PC. They are looking at bringing it in for console. They did mention this on the DCUO forums.
Yes.
So they're looking to implement it for the discount, at least for the PlayStation as well.
Yep, and that was exactly what I was going to go into next. And once again, for the people who don't understand why this is kind of a thing, for why it's only PC only for now, SOE is computer games. That's SOE. SCEA, which I believe that's what it is. SCEA, right? That handles the PlayStation?
Yes.
Yeah.
SCEA handles PlayStation.
Yeah. So, and they are both Sony. On paper, you're looking at, they're both Sony. But they're two separate entities when it comes especially to gaming. So, SOE handles the PC side and SCEA handles the PlayStation side. Well, we are two separate entities, two separate accounting departments, two separate everything. And where SOE might come up with this amazing idea that we see here for this all access, SCEA, they have to find a way how it works for them and how it's going to work for the, especially for the SOE games, that is DC Universe Online and PlanetSide 2. So I'm really happy to hear that they came onto the forums and said they're working to bring it to the console players, which I believe is going to be great. I really do hope it hurries to get here and hopefully gets ironed out pretty fast. But this also goes for the EU players as well for Pro 7 side. How will this affect you? Pro 7 apparently is very excited about working toward a similar solution for the EU customers, working closely with them and looking forward to announcing a very similar plan. Stay tuned for updates. So the EU guys are going to get something a little similar as well down the road. Once again, when this is all going to happen for us on the US side of on SOE around April 2nd. EU and the PlayStation guys, we don't have a date yet, but they are talking about it, so it is coming. So, and I think through the FAQ, that's really it for DC Universe Online stuff. Did you have anything to add, sir?
In that regards, yeah. Well, the sunset thing. I mean, I thought we were going to talk about that.
My apologies. I'll let you talk about the sunset stuff. It's I have a cousin who plays one of the games, and I'm trying my best to try and break it to him.
Well, basically, some of SOE's games are sunsetting, meaning that they are going to stop supporting them, and they're eventually going to shut the servers down. Those games include, I believe it's Vanguard, Free Realms, what was it, Star Wars Galaxies, or what was the other one?
Star Wars Clone Wars and Wizardry Online.
Yeah, and Wizardry. So 4 of SOE's games are sunsetting. They're going to stop development on them. They're going to stop, supporting those games and everything, and they're eventually going to shut them down. However, this does not mean that SOE is getting any layoffs. They're not. They're not laying anybody off. Those developers are going to be parceled out to the other current games. The other games that are continuing on. So, for me, I feel bad for everybody that plays those games. I really do. But I think somebody mentioned in the discussion about all of it, it's kind of a bittersweet thing, for the people, the current, the devs that are working on those current games that are still continuing on, because they're like, hey, man, really sorry, your game's being shut down. Okay, we need you to work on this now. It's so it looks like like I said, it's sad to see any game get shut down, but the fact that those devs aren't being laid off or anything, or fired, or given their papers or anything like that. They are staying with us, so that means that we may get to see more developers parceled out to all the other games, including DCUO Online, which means maybe we'll be able to get some more content coming out to us here in the future, a little bit faster, a little bit more on time, a little bit, with less issues at launch, coming off of the test server and everything. So I look at the news as bittersweet. Like I said, it sucks those games are getting shut down, but at the same time, looks like, the other games that are continuing on are going to get some extra development help.
Yes,
as far as staffing is concerned.
Yep, that's my positive outlook for this as well. I was really happy to hear that Smedley, the president of SOE, said that they are not laying off anybody. They're still keeping everybody, and I really hope that when stuff starts breaking down, which again, I'm so sad to hear. It's never fun to hear that a game is going down. The Star Wars Galaxy guys know that better than anyone. And at the same time, remember that the Star Wars Galaxy guys, some of them are actually with DCUO. Locke is a perfect example. He was one of the development guys for Star Wars, and he's here on DCUO. Now, I would love to have some of the guys from, Wizardry, maybe a couple of guys from Free Realms. I think the guys from Free Realms can probably bring in some aspect of new base items to bring into us, because they had some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah,
but I do hope that I'm really happy everyone still keeps their jobs and they move to bigger and better things. Michael Grid asked, do you think they're developing other games for the future? It was actually said during the MMA or the AMA from Smedley on Reddit, because I saw it posted on our Skype thing, but I think they actually got pulled from AMA, so I'm not going to really say anything. Now I'm afraid if we can even say it. Brass said it.
I think we can talk about what was put in that forum post. So,
it came from the AMA, so I'm going to go with it. If I get in trouble, hopefully I just get a slap on the wrist. But pretty much Smedley said that there's something in the works for a future game that has no title, that cannot really be talked about yet, that the Star Wars fans might be coming home. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what's going on. But apparently, if you're from Star Wars Galaxy from the SOE game, I think apparently this game is probably going to bring you back. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not even sure if it's going to be Star Wars related. I honestly don't, because remember, that thing is Disney owned, and I don't even know if SOE got a contract for it. I think EA won that whole bid thing, and God forbid, Star.
Well, I know EA is getting ready to through DICE is getting ready to make a Star Wars Battlefront game, which I think is going to be a first-person shooter, which I think is going to be fantastic.
It better be.
DICE is awesome at making games. Like the Battlefield franchise, especially, is just a fantastic franchise. I've loved playing every single Battlefield game that they've put out. So it's gonna. I think it's gonna I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm excited to see what it is. Whatever
I
it
am
is
too.
they do come out with.
I am too.
Both EA and Dice and SOE. But if it's not a Star Wars game that SOE is doing, that's some serious trolling, man. It's going to make all the Star Wars fans come back, and it's going to be like a Star Trek game. I'll laugh my ass off.
Nah. Cryptic has that. They're destroying that altogether by themselves. So, I mean, it started out an okay game. It's their HUD is just so horrible. I hate their HUD. It's so eyesore. But all right, on to other forum news. I just have to click my link. So, in this forum news, I found this today, and actually a lot of my stuff I found today because I was just trolling through like I always do. Haha. This one said, devs just give up on trying to split the group during raids. And the OP goes on. FOS 2, Nexus, Assault, and Battery. Groups don't like being split up. Every time you tried, group doesn't buy it. They don't do it and just bypass it without a second glance. Either make it that it's impossible to bypass it, or just not do it at all, and focus on a different type of padding the instance. Through this, especially the first page, because Christiana came in there and replied too, and I had to reply after him because it made me think. The fact that there was someone mentioned about not FOS 2, but Outer Caverns having a split. And Chris and I had to sit back. I'm like, wait, there's a split in Outer Caverns? When was this?
It took me.
Do you remember?
I saw you guys talking about that. And
before we give it away, chat. As we're talking about this, where is the split in Outer Caverns? Do you guys know? All right, let's go. We can go ahead now. I want to see if they know. This will be fun. But yeah, and it made me think. I'm like, holy crap, that was supposed to be a split?
Yeah, because you just end up going from one side to the other. Back and forth.
Yeah, that was just crazy. So, but and then we saw it further in FOS 2, and honestly, that split, that was a headache especially for me. Not being the whole one tank thing, I'm not. It's not even worried about that. It was the fact that I feel that it should have been a split where 4 and 4 go down, but people didn't do it because they used the warp rally function. They used the warp rally and just went back and forth, and it was just horrible. I really hated it. But I mean, that was the way that everyone did it, so what was I going to say? It's like, guys, we're going to do this 4 and 4, and me just get kicked from the group. And then FOS 2 became over time, it became easier and easier because we already know those fights, so we just, bypassed it. Yep, exactly, everyone knows. Yep, the terminals. Yes, the terminals were... I never knew that was supposed to be a split. Now it makes me want to do that raid again and just do, alright, you 4 go that way, we're going to go this way. And see how it goes. But then, what was the other one? The Nexus split. That's another one that really never split.
I mean, it was intended to be split.
Yeah.
Because you have to. And you technically you do have to split that. You do have to split that. But people will go down. They'll burn They'll burn down one of the bots down to almost nothing. Then they'll go over and they'll burn the other bots down to almost nothing. And then they'll split up to burn them. To finish them both off. So that one, you do have to split, but technically, don't have to say split the whole time. Honestly, with the 8-man op, you don't have to do the split, but I don't know why you wouldn't bother doing that. It kind of goes faster, to me at least. It's a little bit harder, but it's not impossible to do. So I don't understand why people are I just got done doing that op. And, oh man, speaking of just getting done doing the op, I got the Model of Ranks lair item.
Oh
that
my gosh.
Trex is going to be very jealous over right now, and I'm looking at it on the broker. I haven't collected it yet.
Stop.
I haven't collected it yet, but I'm
That just sounds so dreamy.
a tear is trickling down from the corner of my eye right now.
I just got
Not
the
really.
vapors. Wow.
But so I mean, it's like, I mean,
and then in the
split thing. I mean, it's just, I mean, just do the split. I mean, it's intended for that. To have a little bit more fun. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, I was in a group earlier and all that. We did it. We didn't do the split, you know, evenly. The first 2 times I've done it, you know, we did the split evenly. You know, the second time it took us longer to figure out that, okay, you know, are we doing the split or are we not doing the split? It took us longer to figure out whether we were actually doing the split or not than it would normally to, you know, split groups up.
But even on the test server, and there was an argument in the group, not an argument, but back and forth, like, we need to split. And they're like, no, you don't have to split. Because we had 2 tanks, because I was trying to control this raid, I said, no, we're going to do this 4 and 4. That's exactly what we're doing here. 4 in it. Let's split. And apparently the people that go to Metropolis, you guys get kind of a debuff for that boss, don't you?
I have no idea I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
When you go to Metropolis, apparently when you go to Metropolis, the team that goes to Metropolis come back with like that mist aura around them,
right?
And that's supposed to actually debuff that rock boss. Or well, for us on the villain side, we had a rock boss in Mogo. I'm not sure what the hell you guys had in ranks.
Yeah, there's some robot thing in there that breaks up. You know, it's basically probably the same type of boss, but
yeah, he broke up. Yeah,
I don't know. I know we get the mist, but I mean everybody ends up with that mist around them.
Okay, we didn't get that mist well, at the same time we're on test server, so it's like my group, we're inside Mogo and we meet this boss, and they're like, oh, apparently we have a boss fight. So we do the boss fight, not knowing that we needed to wait for the other team. Because apparently Sinestro said, wait for the other team. But what was Trex doing? Yapping at the mouth. Didn't even hear Sinestro because I was yapping at the mouth. So every time we wiped in there. And then we finally got the group together. We were like, all right, we ran it and destroyed them fine.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the first team, the team that goes into ranks, is supposed to go up there and then stop before they get to that boss.
Correct. Because we go in, we show up in one entrance,
and then the team that went to Metro comes back, gives everybody that freaking mist, and everybody fights that boss.
I'm guessing that's pretty much what I'm guessing. I haven't been able to do it on live yet, but yeah, that's exactly how it sounds. Because I saw a picture with someone having all of the mist. The whole raid had the mist, and I was like, oh, well, okay, apparently everybody gets it. Neat. But yeah, apparently it's supposed to weaken that boss or something. I haven't gone to Metro yet. I think when I run it next time, I'm going to go into the group and into the Metro and see what's all going on in there. But all in all, I mean, but yeah, this split and what people are definitely not want to do the split. The people are probably griping about the split are people, the groups that are going in there with 1 tank. And if you go in there with 1 tank and you beat it, well, kudos to you. If you're a group that goes in there with 2 tanks, you're not noob. In my eyes, you're running it the safest way possible, and so have at thee. Just try your best and have fun. And especially when I queue up for it, or I want to start asking for a group, I'm going to straight up tell them, we're using 2 groups, we're using 2 tanks, so if you don't like it, you can suck it, because we're using 2. Count them, 2, because Rage right now, it's very brand new, stuff is broken, we are not OP as much as people keep crying about it, we are not. So, I'm doing it with 2 tanks. If you can do it with 1, have at thee. But I'm going out with 2. I'm going with Noah's Ark. The Noah's Ark formation. That's how I play.
I mean, yeah, plus with armories out there and all that, there's no reason whatsoever why, you can't, have, one of the tank guys, one of the DPS tank power, switch over to tank, and go do that split. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to do.
Correct. So. And then another thread that I found was, I just want to bring it up because armories are now out. Everybody's apparently having a great time with it. I haven't heard any more griping about the pricing on the forums, and if there are griping, then I haven't really seen them yet.
You can't gripe about something if you're still paying for
it. Exactly. But a person came.
I mean, if you're paying that price for it, all right, you just shot all freaking credibility of any argument you have out the window.
Agreed.
Against that price.
So now we have the armories are now out, and someone posted a forum today asking for a portable armory, so they don't have to go back to their base to re-imprint every time they get a skill point, every time they've got a new piece of armor. They don't want to go back to their base. They want to just treat it like the portable R&D station. Just press a button, press your little trinket or whatever, and boom, the armory shows up right there in front of you. You re-imprint, and you go on your merry way.
No.
I'm sorry. I agree. I'm not, and sadly enough, yes. In that forum post, I was the first person who replied. I'm like, this feels really lazy. It feels really lazy, and that's exactly how I feel it is.
I don't mind going back to my lair to reprint. Now, even though, when I switched over to Rage, all of a sudden I realized it hit me. Oh, holy shit, I've got 7 freaking armories I need to re-imprint.
Yeah, I hit that too.
But, at the same time, I mean, that's the cost of, freaking, switching powers like that. What I wouldn't mind having, and I don't think this is too lazy. What I wouldn't mind having is having like a remote generator access to change what loadout, which builds I have in the field without having to go back to my lair. The imprinting thing, I'm fine doing that. But it'll say like, I'm in freaking, I'm in Metro. I'm in the new Metro, right? Mm-hmm. And say like, okay, I'm in the PvP phase and there's villains jumping. Well, every single loadout that I've got on my generator is PvE related right now. So, but these villains are hassling us. They're healing up the bounties, they're healing up the ads, blah 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 blah, what have you. They're just or they're just straight up ganking. I would like to be able to, if it's possible, if we can have like a remote generator access, kind of like your little cell phone. It's okay, I need to, like if you watch other games, okay, well, perfect example. Arkham City, Batman Arkham City.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bruce Wayne, he gets loose and he gets free and all that, and he uses his communicator to call Alfred up. Alfred, sends the, remote control Batwing out there, and it drops a canister down, and there's the Batsuit in it. So I mean, to be able to, like change what we have on the generator in the field while we're outside of the layer, that would be kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and even then, after I started thinking about it, I tried to figure out how we would be able to access it on our actual screen. Then you have to worry about, like in your example with PvP, and the only way I can even imagine having like a portable armory would be like this canister just comes flying out of the sky, lands beside you, and there's your armor right there, and you just imprint it, but then what happens to it? It just disappears, right? Well, what happens if you're like running around, you're being chased or something? You have to make sure that the portable armory is not being able to be used in combat, because God forbid you're in combat, that portable armory just comes down right in front of you and stops that villain from attacking you, which would be pretty funny. But at the same time, it's like, that would pretty much not be helpful at all. Well, helpful to you, but hurtful for the person who's chasing you. But that would be the only thing in my mind that I realized that would be the only way it would work.
Yeah, I mean, there would definitely have to be some balance issues looked at with that maybe, and everything like that. And Derek James, I understand what you're saying about staying in your lair for queuing up for content. But what happens if like I said, I'm in open world in the new metro, and I'm trying to get a mission done out there, and villains come along and start ganking, but I don't have any of my PvP builds on me. I mean, there's open world stuff in that new metro that you have to do.
Yeah.
So,
at the same time, why would you need 4 different PvE layouts?
Sir.
One's for tanking, I get it, but you really need 3 DPS?
No, I don't. No. Okay, say I've got, I got my PvE tank, I got my ranged PvE DPS, and I've got my melee PvE DPS. And then I have, there's other people out there, okay, say for certain situations, just to have fun, with lower content, they, want to use a weapon they have a lot more fun using, like shield. I love using shield, right? So my PvE, I've actually combined 2 different freaking builds with a melee DPS build on the on my armory, because you only need for dual wield, you only really need those 4 combos that you spec into.
Oh, whoa, sir. Whoa, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't need the spinny thing.
But bull
arena.
No, yes, you do.
No, you don't. That's going to get you beat up and blocked, and stunned more than anything.
Well, I'm not PvP. I'm not PvPing, so I don't care. Maybe I want to dance around.
So, Brittany's makes a point right there. So you got your ranged DPS, you got your melee DPS, and you got your solo DPS.
And then you have your 4 for PvP.
I have more than one for PvP.
Calm down. Calm down, sir.
But, being able to change those out would be nice.
Okay.
Out there in the field, because if I want to be if I'm over there and I have to get my PvP because the villains just aren't going anywhere, right? But I'm not gonna chicken out and go to PvE phase. I want to go over there and fight them and teach them a lesson. So I would have to warp back to my lair, warp back to HQ, then go back into Mogo, then go back into the new metro. Well, I honestly, what I really want? I want to put a lair down in the new metro.
Oh, for the love of God! Now hold on here. Hold on.
There you go. You know what? No more discussion about remote access generators from open world or in instances or anything like that. Let me put a lair down in the new metro.
If I can't get a lair in new metro, you ain't getting a lair in new metro.
No, I'm saying let everybody put a lair down in there.
No,
I'm just saying just me specifically.
No, I want one specifically. Nobody else. None.
What are you talking about?
I am the Lantern. Alright? I'm the Lantern fan. I deserve it.
Yeah, okay, so nobody's stopping you.
Yeah, there is. The devs are, because they won't do it.
They need to do it. I think they should do it.
I would definitely put myself right there in that red mist, block. It's like it's the hood.
I'd put myself in a blue mist just to piss people off.
I was like, oh, blue is so peaceful. Hey, wait, is that Super Patriot? Oh, there's no hope! No hope! Run, villains, run! But it would be. I mean, if they open up Metro, new Metro, open up a little bit more, maybe I can cross my fingers.
James makes a good point. Maybe if they transposed our layers that we have, into the new cities.
Yeah.
As they open up more, that would be awesome.
I know.
That would be awesome.
I know if they opened up a couple of spots in Central City, I would be all over it.
Michael Grid, why are layers in the new Metro a bad idea? It is brilliant.
I just want it because I'm closer to my lanterns. Idea. That's it. I'm closer to home. I'm closer to my peoples. But in fact, that these are The shield tied to a DLC was bad. That's true. I mean, these are DLC specific.
I don't think the shield being tied to a DLC was bad.
That's true, but they also got rid of that.
Yeah, that glitch with the armories, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but at the same time, these instances are part of DLCs, so you would have to have home turf and this DLC in order to have a place in these new areas. Which for us, sure, but for the other player who doesn't really have either or, it gets kind of it's a little unfair. So I mean, I so under that understanding, I respect
don't see it as unfair. How is that unfair? You know, just because they don't have the DLC, they can't do it. Wah.
Well, I mean that's like an instance inside of an instance too. I don't know that I don't even want to think about I've looked at too much coding today. I don't want to think about coding anymore until tomorrow when I have to finish my project. But anyways, moving on for DLC9. Woo! Legendaries. Raise your hands up for Legendary. Woo woo. So much fun. So much fun.
Brittany agreed with me. Get the DLC. I had somebody leave a comment on my trailer video about that. So I can't believe that Premium doesn't have access to it yet. We can't buy it yet. This is outrageous.
Okay, for them, they can suck it and just go ahead and get Legendary if they want to piss and moan about that.
Buy us stuff.
Yeah, if they want to piss and moan that they don't have early access, sub up. That they can eat crow about it. No. So I'm actually pulling up the forums right now because I don't have the patch notes in front of me. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. I didn't even have a link for it. That's what shows how prepared I was. Yeah, apparently I put in my wrong password. Why am I putting in my wrong password? Alright, so DLC 9 is out for early access, and once again, it's going to be out on Tuesday for everybody else. So once again, Legendaries are proving the fact that we are still testers. So, and it's not a bad thing, but, you know, we try. So, let me see if I can find the actual patch notes, maybe? This the Warlight early begins for early for members. I wonder if this is actually where they show the patch notes. Nope, that's just the trailer that was there. That's not the actual patch notes. Do you have the link for the patch notes? Are there actual patch notes?
Pretty sure. Yeah, there were actual patch notes. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure I can find them here real quick. Because like there was they had the announcement, and then they had the actual server downtime announcement. Server downtime. Yep, here we go. Server downtime January 22nd.
Oh, 22nd. Okay.
Yeah.
There's EU. There it is. Thank you. That's right. Okay. So, let's go. Thank you. So, let's go down the list here. New shared area. Cool little metropolis. It's only a section of metropolis. And how have you felt about the new area?
This looks really cool. It looks really cool. I like it. I want to be able to put a layer down in it.
Calm down. Now, this is... I really do enjoy it there. I wish there would be more missions around it, but honestly, when you look at the Metropolis Battle Zone, that's what the area is called, this pretty much is your operation. You have a mission for the bounties. Have you done any of the bounties yet?
Yes. Actually, I tested my first tank loadout on the Metallo bounty in there, and other than a couple of mistakes on my own part, mostly in regards to avoiding the rage crash or predicting the mechanics involved in making sure that I did not miss my rage crash. I only went down a couple of times. Rage is freaking awesome for tanking. Don't get me wrong, everybody. I talk about it wanting to make it. It's making me cry right now, but that's mainly out of my own frustration with not quite getting everything down perfect with it. So, but yeah, fought Metallo out there. I saw Bruno Mannheim. I fought Ursa, and I fought Black Adam, I believe.
Oh, what color was Black Adam?
Black Adam, I believe, is red.
Oh, it's so great! I need to find him and beat him up to a bloody pulp. Sorry, bring up my inner atrocitus there. So, so that's cool. I know on the test server, Jimmy and I and our group ran up against Flash and Martian Manhunter, and they whooped us bad. But of course, we didn't have a full group either. Now the operations, the 4-man operations, we have Mist Recovery and Strike Team. So Mist Recovery, how do you feel about Mist Recovery?
Mist Recovery, that's the one. I have not done the Strike one yet, believe it or not, and I'm really annoyed I haven't had a chance to get in there yet. The Mist Recovery, I liked it. I mean, all these ops are really cool. I mean, they're fun and everything. From what I've seen so far, the 4-man and that 4-man and the 8-man. Mist Recovery, I thought it was really cool and all that because you go in there with Kyle and you're running through it and all that, and all of a sudden his green rain, loses power. So does he go charge it up? No, he just throws a blue one on and goes right back into the fight. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So,
yeah, Mist Recovery for me, it was literally that first part in the actual city, doing the different missions in the different Mist area. Busy, exactly, Brittany. Busy work. If we found like a bounty boss, or if there was actually like a boss in those mists or something, or at the end of the mist there was a boss, it would feel a little bit better for me. But we didn't find our first boss until you go actually into Star Labs, and that's where you see all the bosses, and it's like the beat for the actual operation was kind of off because we kept doing busy work, and then all the bosses are just all at once. If there are bosses on the first part, good, and then kept it going. But once you get into Star Labs, it just goes straight. You go straight out the door. You know exactly what to do. You go straight after bosses, and you're done. It honestly feels like the whole Central City thing again with Brothers in Arms and Family Reunion. It's like, why are we in Central City? I understand why we're in Mist Recovery, why we're in the battle zone and collecting this stuff, but even with Central City, they at least got bosses. Even though people never did the bosses, but there were bosses. But sadly enough, Brittany does not like the 4-man operations. I see that.
Well, I don't know if you saw her video or not. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but she told me about it. There's some issues with the CC effects, or not the CC, the combat mechanics, not actually showing what they're doing, or not acting the way they're supposed to, basically.
Yeah, and that right there is it. Once again, we're early access. I guess you can call it like post-testing or whatever.
The thing is though, Christiana, who's been on the show before, he's in there talking on the forums, and he's like, yeah, there are issues that are going on right now that were not happening before. They were not happening on test, and now all of a sudden, they were working fine on test, and now they're broken. So I don't know if an old build accidentally got in there or what, but it's quite annoying.
It happens like that with everything that I have seen coming from DLCs and even from game updates. Like on test server, it's working fine, and then once it hits live, we'll have a couple of screw-ups here. I think it's also because maybe there are other players out there who, they're not legendary, they're not on the test server, but they come in and they break it. They break it where the testers couldn't break it, and So it happens there. But I don't know either. I don't know what happens from test coming over here to live. What actually causes the stuff? Because some of these stuff that I've been hearing about, I've never experienced on test server, and I was there for a while. But this is stuff that all you can really do is report it, and they'll look into it, try to and they have to reproduce it in order to find the actual bug, because once they find it, then they can actually fix it. So again, if you report something and they haven't really found a fix for it yet, that's probably because they haven't actually experienced it. They have to reproduce it. That's why they specifically say in the Arkham bug forums, like, please give detailed information so they can reproduce it. So, but yes. And then
SOE needs to ditch their intern programmers. I don't think they have any interns there, bro.
They do not. They do not. So we have now the 8-player operation, which I went into it on the test server with Jimmy and some great people, and had a lot of fun with it. It was a lot of learning. I go into Jimmy's stream actually earlier this week. It was actually on launch day, and I think it was on launch day. Maybe she was streaming. I can't remember, but she went to the 8-man operation with the Justice Girls, which, by the way, great job, ladies. Great job. But then they got to the puzzle part, which, by the way, I played it on villain, and I was like, fucking puzzles. She's on her hero. I see the puzzle on the hero. I'm like, you kidding me? I don't want a puzzle. This puzzle sucks. just sucks altogether. So pissed. But she's in the puzzle part, and yes, Twitch has that delay, and then I'm talking to her husband on Skype, because we're becoming really cool buds, and I'm watching her, and she's getting so frustrated with it. I'm like, tell her to call me on Skype. Just call me on Skype and I'll help her. I just want to help her. Because she's breaking my soul, because she was just getting so frustrated, and I was trying to help her. But she got Asian stubborn, and she wouldn't accept it.
She got Asian stubborn? Did you just say that?
Yes. Yes.
Brittany, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, Brittany?
Cannot wait to see this.
Asian stubborn.
But she did. She did. She would not. I will give her all the credit and everything. She got on her own. She understood it, and so more power to her that she pulled through it and she learned it. But dear Lord, just grinding my teeth. Just grinding my teeth, because she was like.
Yeah, I know. Exactly, Brittany. I don't know what that means either. Asian stubborn. I don't know what that means.
It's stubbornness, but it's more stubborn.
Trending Hashtag Asian stubborn.
Oh, I'm tweeting it. Oh god, yeah.
Trex cherub in the duo, by the way.
There's a what?
There was a Trex cherub in the duo. I'm helping the lead mate run through the Trigun duos right now. I just freed you from a cage.
Aw, thank you. I do appreciate it. So, yes, go out there and go Twitter. Asian stubborn. It's gonna be it's a thing now.
Apparently, I don't know. I've never heard of it, but I mean,
you didn't. You haven't heard of it because you haven't experienced it. That night, I experienced it.
Really, almost every day. I'm a little bit familiar with Asian bitchy, but I mean, Asian stubborn. I mean, I'm not.
I didn't know bitchy came in other forms. I thought it was just all of it.
You don't understand. Asian bitchy does shit like, get your favorite weapon weapon from a raid like 8 or 9 times, and then salvages them and sends you the materials. That's Asian bitchy. Because only a nerdy Asian would do something like that to another person.
So much love.
I hate the freaking delay on Twitch right now because we can't see what she's saying.
I know. I know. And I think she's offline, so we can't call her. So, and then next up was new Legend characters. Have you tried out Atrocitus or Saintwalker yet?
I have not even bought them yet. I've been
Same here.
With trying to, figure out rage tanking. I've actually got a pretty decent DPS loadout for it. That I will be uploading a video tomorrow for as soon as I get done with the editing on it. Of the 8-man op. So I actually ended up beating out Celestial with it. So I don't know. I don't know, we'll see.
So, and then of course, Rage powers came in. It's so much fun. Even with the taunting being a problem, but it's still really
it's
cool.
just the freaking group pull. It's the group pull. Like I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Ragebringer.
One where it's like yeah, the one where it's like freaking Unescapable Storm. It's so frustrating.
And especially with Ragebringer, if you're pulling multiple people, it actually shows the lights going to those multiple people, unlike Unescapable Storm that really just grabs anyone that's around that other person.
Well, I mean, it does pull.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hold the freaking aggro. And it should. I shouldn't have to, that should be all I need to do to get aggro.
Yeah, that's something that has been reported, and it's going to definitely be getting fixed, hopefully, pretty soon. I mean, I myself, I don't use Ragebringer. I know it is a very powerful taunt. It's a very powerful pull. It is just not in my loadout. I'm spec'd for it, of course. But, I mean, for my pulling, I have Without Mercy because, I mean, to me, it's my backdraft, and I spam backdraft all day long. So Without Mercy, I still spam it. And of course I have Eviscerating Chain because I just like it. I mean, why not, right?
Right.
There's a lot of abilities on my loadout that I could probably just go, I just like it.
Chain is really good, even for tanking, because it works as an ignore for the Rage Crash.
Yes.
The cooldown on it's not that long and everything. I do. I mean, I'll admit I use something different for canceling out the rage, because the animation is just a little bit too long for me for Eviscerating Chain. Because and I'm not super speed or on the PC, so I can't clip with phase dodge like y'all do over there.
Mm-hmm.
But so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's just, some things, I mean, I'm not sure about. I know you like laid out the whole, health bonus we get and everything like that. I have yet to see it. I'm sorry.
If you're on, I'm telling you, if you just stand there, because if you go into 8th Precinct, because this is how I tested it, go into 8th Precinct, clear out that first room, and then when you're in the hallway, just go in there. I used Without Mercy just to grab everybody around me, grab everyone around me, and then I just started spamming my other powers. I used 4 powers before my power bar was empty. Used 4 powers, all those enemies around me, my health jumped up from 6,100 up to 31k. Because I had, I think, maybe over 5 enemies around me, and I used 4 abilities. So my health just skyrocketed.
The thing is, though, man, I mean, that's okay for like 5, 6 ads being around you all the time. Yeah, I mean that's good. But if you've only got one boss with no ads in there, or you've got 2 bosses with no ads in there, that health, you're not getting the full benefit of that whole health buff thing.
That's probably why they added the part. They didn't really add it, but it's in there that you only have the one boss, so you only got that buff for that one enemy. But then if you start spamming or not really spamming, but when you start using your powers, your health will increase with each power you use for that duration of how long that power is. So I mean, your health still gets increased with the powers that you use. But I mean, and we did test it on the forum, on the test server. Chris did extensive testing. I know a couple of other people did some testing as well. And so that's when that came into light for me as testing was ending. I felt more in love with Rage more because of it, because I saw how high my health got. And yes, you have to pretty much. You don't expect to spam every single amount of your power. Don't start thinking that you can just blow it all through and the controller is going to get you back up. You still need to be concise about it, but just kind of ease it in. You're wanting a steady flow of your powers. I will pretty much use all 4 of my powers, even especially the one that heals me. I'll use Ire to make sure I get the heals, and I just use 3 other powers, and boom, my health will skyrocket. So I mean, you can break 31k using just 4 powers, and I had 5 enemies around me. When I have 1 person in front of me, I'll probably actually just go and grab like maybe 1 boss, and just see how that turns out. Because even if Rage isn't on test server, this is still a brand new power that we still have to finalize to try and get through. But it's still very fun. Don't lose hope, Soups. I believe in you. I believe.
I know. It's just so frustrating, dude. I mean, I've been having issues. I don't know why. I've been having issues with tanking. Since I started trying to do freaking Wave. For some reason, I just don't know what it is, man. It's so annoying and frustrating because I was one of the first fire tanks as solo freaking Nexus legit when Nexus was first out. I mean, I did it with back when it was like really freaking hard, and with only 5 pieces of tier 5. So it's like it's just frustrating. I go in there and I can't. Going with with a good solid group, and not be able to do this stuff.
I'm pretty sure I remember saying it with this power when the DLC launches with the Rage powers. I know I said don't go straight into Nexus or Wave. Start off in the smaller operations and alerts to make sure you learn Rage before you go balls deep into the quote unquote difficult raids. Unquote. But
yeah, I mean, and I didn't do that. I mean, I sat here and freaking looked at, I read every single power in the description, what they did, and I pieced together, a decent a loadout that I thought was going to work well, and I tested it out, and so I ran, I ran Nexus and I ran Wave, but I mean I tested it out against other things. I went over and tried to, like solo freaking Raven, just to see how long, not to try and beat her, but just to see how long I could last with Rage, and that lasted for freaking ever. It was actually kind of hilarious, how long I was lasting. Just by not freaking just by using the Rage power itself to kind of like heal myself. So I mean, I never jump, in and say, okay, yeah, this is the best loadout for it, without even like really paying attention to what the powers do or how they interact with each other. I mean, I never do that stuff. I mean, it always frustrates me when people do that because then half the time, they're like misinforming people and everybody's like, doing the wrong thing when, people jump ahead with stuff like that. So, I always, look at everything, that is in front of me in order to try and come up with a good loadout, and everything. But I mean, for me, mainly it's been working out with Rage. I don't doubt Ren's good tank and all that. He's got it down. For me though, it's mainly been timing the interrupts from the bosses to when I activate Rage and when I can safely be able to cancel the rage crash. That's been my main problem. I've got a good solid loadout, that where you can swap a couple powers out here and there for tanking it. For so you're not pulling the manhunters in close to Sinestro and stuff like that. So I just changed one of my taunts around and everything, but I've got a good solid loadout. It's just the timing I need to work on. It's just my timing's really screwed up. I don't know why. I suck. This game. I'm done. Thanks for my last show, folks.
After get right, I ain't going through that process of finding a new co-host again.
I'll just bring Brittany and Jemmy in here. But you've been looking to freaking better deal me since I introduced you to them too. So.
That's right. I would have to bring in 2 females to replace you. That's a compliment. Somewhere in there. I'm sure it is. I meant it that way.
That did not come off like a compliment.
I am so sorry then. I'm trying to figure out how to say it.
You just basically said what I just got from you, based off the context of the conversation we just got done having about me leaving the show. You said you would have to bring in 2 females, basically, to replace my whiny bitch ass. That's basically what you just said.
I can't handle double Asian stubborn. I can't do that.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Asian stubborn and Asian bitchy. I can't handle that.
Brittany's gonna kick your ass.
I should have to find it SOE Live.
Hey, they say Asians got long memories too.
Oh, look at this. So we also got new PvE gear. We have the Scion of Ion set that's inspired by Hal Jordan for the heroes, the Disciple of Parallax set inspired by Sinestro for the villains, and then the Vestments of Rage that can be worn by hero and villain that's inspired by Atrocitus. And then the Avatar Infiltrator for hero and villain that was originally found in Forces of Solitude is back, and it's inside the operations. Have you picked up any of the new PvE gear?
I have picked up. When I loaded up in the game, I picked up. First thing I did was I picked up a DPS helmet because I still had an 86. I picked up a tank waist because I still had an 86, and I picked up a DPS weapon because I still had an 87. That was with the Marks of Reality that I had saved up, and I actually had some left over. Since then, though, I'm concentrating fully on buying. The gear that I'm buying is going to be tank gear, and if I get DPS gear, fantastic. From the drops, fantastic. Which I ended up doing today. I did get the legs today. The Vestments of Rage.
Yes. And also, the Ring of Omnipotence is confirmed. It's in the 8-man raid, 8-man operation. And I myself...
How do you feel about it having toughness?
Do I care?
I'm curious how you feel about it.
I don't... Oh, I'm sorry. That was my answer. I don't care. Doesn't the Helm of Omnipotence have toughness?
I don't believe it does.
Well, it's like... if someone goes into Arena PvP and they're wearing that ring, QQ more. Just, I don't care. That doesn't affect... One, it doesn't affect me because I don't Arena PvP. 2, I mean, how much is the toughness? Like 200?
It's like 160 something.
Whatever. I mean, it's... For God's sakes, it's a legendary item. For a legendary item, I would expect it to be worked everywhere. Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how... I mean... It comes back into the argument where people are talking about splitting PvE and PvP, which I do agree, but it's a legendary item. If it has toughness,
I don't agree with it at all. I mean, to some extent, I do, but only because I mean, there's some things like I don't want to see like glass cannons in PvP. One, it very rarely works for you, and 2, I mean, it's only going to work for you once. and then you're gonna have to switch your freaking gear out because you're gonna get focus fire the rest of the time you're in that arena. But for me, I mean, here's my thing. All right, if everybody making these, I think I talked about this last. I know I talked about this on the People's Podcast, but if you're gonna talk about you don't want PVE in your PvP, all right, well then you know what, then don't be a hypocrite about it. All right, you don't want PVE in your PvP, fine. Take your expert mods out of your gear, and only run with synthetics that you bought with Valor. All right. You don't want, the utility belts and all that. Fine. Because you take those out and everything because you have to pay rent with Marks of Triumph with those. You don't want, you've got to, you can't be hypocritical. I mean, you can't accept. It can't be, it's okay. Well, this is okay because I like this. No. Take your tactical mods out of your gear.
Yeah.
Take your tactical mods out of your gear. Yeah. Oh, whoa. What's he talking about now? Yeah.
I just want to say, I just want to be that black guy behind you. It's like, you take that tactical mods out, son.
Yeah, take your tactical mods out of your gear too. Let's see, what else is there? Well, let's see. Okay, the rent on your utility belt's paid, with Triumph. Your tactical mods rent is paid with Triumph. So you got to take those out. Let's see. Oh, wait. You know what? The vast majority of the in-game cash that you get in this game is earned through PvE. And because the PvP gear also costs in-game cash along with Marks of Triumph, guess what? You need to basically take your PvP gear off. Because, you're using PvE to purchase it.
Yeah. Now I sure enough tried to go buy some not the expert, but I mean trying to go buy some synthetic mods from the PvP vendor until I realized I gotta remember I can't buy it because I don't meet that PvP CR. So I can't go buy the mods with my Marks of Valor because I don't have that CR. So I was stuck. Soundwave, I am black. Pie in his face. Well, I mean, I'm half and half, but the federal government calls me black, so I'm black. But yeah, it's whatever. And I honestly don't see them adding mods that are just like specifically PvE or specifically PvP. That's just too much work for nonsense. That's just too much work to do. But still on the gear a little bit. I logged in, changed my Rage Power, changed the name, and I looked at my marks, and I had 40 Marks of Reality. I went to the vendor, and I was so happy because all I wanted was that back. I already have I have the Guy Gardner chest piece. I was set, and I saw the back piece, bought it, put it on. I'm like, oh, now I feel sexy. Oh, the ragey sexy. So I was very, very happy. And now I have to work on getting more Marks of Reality because now I'm out. But it's okay because I plan on spamming the hell out of these operations because they're so much fun. So much fun. Can't wait to find Guy Gardner Red Lantern. I just got chills. But then, of course...
I need to take a look at the briefings and collection one. I don't know if I've gotten everything off of... I know I haven't completed them all, but I don't know what all we get with those. I mean, I wonder if we do get the... Guy Gardner chess piece from investigation or a briefing. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I want the Blaze wings for some god-awful reason. I don't know why.
Those Blaze wings look awesome.
See, I'm not even a flyer, but I want that. I want it. And then the new character select background is just great. I love the I got Mogo behind me. So cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Then the villains get ranks, and now I just want to play villain more because it's ranks. And come on, ranks is so cool. But one thing I definitely want to bring about for bug fixes, they fixed the league names can no longer be 20 characters.
More than 20 characters.
More than 20
they
characters.
Have to be 20 characters or less now.
Yes.
Which was pretty funny because I saw somebody with a league name yesterday, and they had a normal league name, but then they had ... after it. Like they were filling up. They wanted all 20 of those characters. Damn it!
Dang.
So I can only have 20 characters. I'm taking all 20 of them.
You gotta work for it, I guess. I would probably just start numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But once again, DLC 9 is out right now for Legendary members. You can definitely sub up right now, and once you sub up, you'll pretty much just have straight access to it, which will be glorious. It does come out next Tuesday on January 28th for free-to-play and premium players. So we're going to try to get the bugs out as much as possible for you peoples. We try to, at least. That'll probably be the next bug fix I can see is when they actually release it. They'll put some fixes out on that day. I at least hope. But that is our show. I do want to spotlight a little bit. Super Patriot and I did some trailer-ish videos for War of the Light. Soups, if you have a link, you can post it on the on the chat if you have your link. If you have a link for it.
Actually, I linked you on Skype, sir, and then you didn't.
I know this. We are not going to do this right now when we're live. We will talk about it after the show.
All right, there's the link for my semi-passable trailer. Only made good by the voiceover from Trex on it.
Thank you. And as soon as I go to my YouTube channel, which I'm currently loading, I can link you mine. Now, mine isn't really a trailer for War of the Light because a lot of the actual footage comes from just Fight for the Light. I did it really just to I did for some editing purposes, try out a couple of techniques. I also wanted to test out more of that voiceover because after doing it for Super Patriot, I was like, man, I really want to do it again. And so I found that I came into the point of I want to do this. So I wanted to do it. I just wanted to do Atrocitus' voice again because why the hell not? So, and here's my link for my video. It's like Atrocitus is doing a monologue, and then it ends with me being a new Red Lantern. So Trex Rage is my new character name. If you do see Black Ember on the game, he is still fire. He's like a level 1, so let me tell you now, I still have Black Ember. It's still my character. I still have the name. I just have him saved on some little alt that I'm not really doing anything with. So yeah, it's my thing. So, now I think to end the show, I want to do the Red Lantern Oath for you guys and the Atrocitus voice that I did for the videos. Super Patriot, I'm opening the floor to you if you want to do any, like a little voice thing, like if you want to do the Blue Lantern voice. Or Oath, I mean.
Oh, I have no hope for myself, man. I'm not going to bother.
Shatterhawk, I will hands down say that Jimmy has inspired me a lot and has helped me with improving my video style. With her editing, I have definitely adopted it, and she has adopted a little bit from me as well. So, and the one thing I like about our small YouTube community, along with us, is we feed off of each other and we help each other out with just learning new stuff. Because Jimmy's editing was just freaking superb, and I adopted it for myself and started working with it just a little bit more. Oh, all right. So before I do the Red Lantern Oath in my Atrocitus voice, which now I'm sort of nervous, just because for wrestling fans out there, just for the hell of it, because Michael Grid's a wrestling fan too. Prediction for the Royal Rumble. Catmon beat me to it. CM Punk is going to be the number one entry for the Royal Rumble. CM Punk gets my vote for winning the Royal Rumble to go on to WrestleMania. CM Punk, why do I vote CM Punk? Why not? CM Punk is the man. Been following this guy around since Ring of Honor, since TNA, almost about maybe close to six years ago. I've been following this guy. I've been following his career. He is an amazing wrestler, so CM Punk gets my vote. So, now, I definitely... Oh, actually, I do... Let me actually open up my Microsoft Word, because I was about to say, I don't have the oath memorized in my head right now, so luckily I did write it down. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. Once again, Super Patriot, where can we find you?
You can, of course, find me at youtube.com / The Daddy's House. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com / The Daddy's House. I am also on the Twitter at The Daddy's House there. And I also have a Twitch where I sometimes occasionally stream from. Sometimes it's painful looking, sometimes it's not. But you can check me out there. I'm also The Daddy's House on Twitch. So give me a follow over there, and you might get to see me stream. You'll get a notification when I do stream. Trex, where can we find you?
There you go. You can, of course, find me over at youtube.com / Trexlight. And you can also find me on Facebook / Trexlight, and also on the Twitter at This Is Trex. You can also find the DCO SourceCast on Facebook and Twitter. Just look up DCO SourceCast, and you'll find us. Yay, you'll find us. So, instead of the Joker sign us out, I'll let Atrocitus sign us out. So, excuse me, I have to... me. See, now I'm all nervous. Hopefully I can do it, because I've been talking all night. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Red Lantern Oath by Atrocitus by me. Oh god, now I'm all nervous. With blood and rage. What? Shut up.
I'm sorry.
You suck. With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.